comic books made more sense. You know it is fictitious without pretense.
Hi everyone, today I thought I'd take a look at Howard the Duck number 24, a random issue from 1978. This is a weird issue in that, like, all of the action stuff has already taken place, and Howard the Duck has insomnia and walks around, and this is Steve Gerber on full display of just, like, contemplation and philosophy, etc. So, this is a great cover, by the way, and I love the Marvel Comics banner. And it was 35 cents back in the day. And here's an ad for something called Pizzazz, which I barely know about. I don't think it lasts very long. It's a magazine of some sort for teens or preteens. Looks like it might be a Marvel thing. But this is a very wordy for this. I mean, it doesn't really, even though you could read all this, it doesn't really tell you what the heck is going on in this comic. It says there are short stories, comic strips, cooking, and magic lessons. Cooking. Reviews of new movies, rock stars, TV shows, books, sports, and records. Pull-out calendars, games, and guys, focus. So yeah, it's all this stuff. Do you know how they made the robots for Star Wars? Or what stroke man from Atlantis swims? Yeah, so there you go. It's some sort of magazine. I'll probably try and track it down and take a look at one of those. Howard the Duck, of course, is a character created by Steve Gerber, and is kind of linked to Man-Thing, and all the characters you see here. Man-Thing was in a swamp called the Nexus of Realities, and in the Nexus of Realities there were rips in space and time where characters could come through into our reality. One of them was Korek the Barbarian. I'm pretty sure he made his debut the same time as Howard the Duck. There's Man-Thing, of course, who recently appeared in the Werewolf by Night TV special. And that was awesome, by the way. And this is Jennifer Kale. I can't remember if she was created by Steve Gerber or not. But she is another sorceress. I don't think she's been in the MCU yet. It's surprising they haven't done a lot of the sorcery characters, like Brother Voodoo. And if they don't want to call him Brother Voodoo, they could call him by his real name. But and, Jennifer Kale, etc. So they've just fought a character called Biz Joe. You see it right here, spelled out for you. And for the fate of the universe, etc. And Howard the Duck is really not cut out for this. He's an everyman, but he's a duck. So they're all saying goodbye to him. They're going to fly off in their little ship there. They've dropped him off at an apartment that was loaned to him by someone else. And Jennifer Kale is like, are you sure you're not a sorcerer? Because, you have the potential in you. And he's like, forget that magic crap, right? So they fly off, and he's a little traumatized by everything. So he doesn't know what to do with himself. He goes into the apartment, and here's some interesting ad. So this is a Slim Jim ad where they show a werewolf here. This is years before Macho Man Randy Savage would put it over the top with his "Step into a Slim Jim" like commercials. Grit Boy is a company that I guess promotes selling newspapers or magazines or something for money. Yeah, I mean, this kind of thing always looked like shystery to me. Here's a Star Wars fan club, official Star Wars fan club. This is 1978, so all we have is Star Wars. At the end of 1978 would be the holiday special. And this thing, I mean, you get a poster, you get a heat transfer for a t-shirt, you get a jacket patch, embroidered one, self-stick color decal. So it's a lot of things you just like paste on things. Star Wars book cover. I don't know what a book cover would be. either in the cover for a book, but I don't know if it's a dust jacket or something. A newsletter of some sort, membership card, 8x10 color photo of something, and a wallet size photo. So that's cool, I guess. I mean, this is like the Kenner figures are just maybe now coming out when you read this. And the comic was already out. So this is Star Wars in its infancy. So it's kind of interesting to look at. Here's Luke in his stormtrooper outfit, and Darth, of course. So here's Howard the Duck trying to get to sleep, counting sheep, and then a big monster. Dr. Bong. So Bev. I think that was also the character in the movie, but there's a girl named Bev that he befriended. She gets married off to Dr. Bong. In a way that would never fly today. She does it to save Howard or something. Dr. Bong was a big arch nemesis of Howard the Duck, and one of the main reasons why they'll probably never do Howard the Duck accurately in a Disney Plus show or a movie or something. I'm surprised they got away with a character called Dr. Bong back then, in these Comics Code comics, right? This is Comics Code approved. Howard looks for snacks. He turns on the TV. There's a box of potato chips. I don't know if that was a thing in the 70s. I've always known them as bags. Here's trashy ads for everything from building muscular arms to, what the heck, be a veterinarian assistant. Banana stamp. All sorts of weird stuff. Whew. Here's a skateboard commercial. Park Rider by Nash. So Howard is trying to watch TV, but they keep talking about a character named Howard. He thinks it's talking to him. So he leaves the apartment and wanders around. He stumbles over a drunk man. The drunk man is pining for a lost love. Here's a commercial for, first of all, insecure boys, get these big muscles, get this booklet and it'll tell you how to do it. Here's all sorts of super specials and tabloid side specials, etc. 2001, Godzilla, Howard the Duck, of course, Miss Marvel, Red Sonja, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. What If? This is funny. It's What If Hulk had the brain of Bruce Banner. The thing about What If was that they had all these out there concepts, and I don't think they were mining those concepts later on. It's just great minds think alike. Like if you're writing a comic and it's an ongoing thing for years and years, you eventually run into just making Jane Foster Thor and and stuff like that, right? Star Wars Defenders, Conan, one of the biggest stars of Marvel at the time. So Howard the Duck, stumbles into this guy. There's this gang of toughs that are gonna beat him up, but the drunk man screams because Howard thinks on his feet and takes out his cigar and burns the guy. He's like, I didn't want to do this, but he yells out, the guys run. He's okay, but Howard just wanted to scare him off. So yeah, he leaves the drunk man there. He says he'll live, right? Then he meets an old bag lady, and she spits on him. So he leaves her, and a phone rings in a nearby phone booth back in the day when we had payphones, and someone's screaming at him through that. Here's the Wisecracks letters page. Just people sounding off and stuff. They love Tomb of Dracula and things like that as well. This was a fun time in Marvel. They had a lot of great stuff. Aside from Spider-Man and Hulk and all that. Here's an ad for a bunch of candy bars. I don't think they make anymore, and if they do, they don't sell them around me. Clark Coconut, Clark Peanut Butter Log, Clark Crunchy Peanut Butter, Zagnut. I remember people talking about Zagnut, Clark Mint, and the Clark Bar. I don't know who Clark was made by, but I don't see any Clark anything anymore. And make money customizing cars, vans, cycles, buggies inside and out. That's cool. I don't know if you learn it or what's going on here. Start your own shop, full or part-time. More trashy ads. It's ads upon ads here. Yeah, prizes for cash. All the trashy want ad looking things. Buy and sell comics. 100 little dolls, all for $3. That looks like a nightmare. So Howard picks up this payphone, and it's just some woman just calling random phone numbers and making obscene phone calls. That was a thing back in the day. I don't know if people still do that, but I remember like being a recipient of that every so often when I was a kid. Someone would phone a random number, you'd pick it up, and they're like, they say all this weird stuff to you. It was a thing back then. Now we have email, so and other things like TikTok, etc. So Howard hangs up, and he's wondering. It just stuff happens to Howard, right? And he's like, everything happens to me. So he walks by this woman, and some dude is about to attack her, and he's like, oh shoot, I missed that. I was so deep in thought. He ran back, and the woman already beat the crap out of the guy. And it turns out that they're role-playing a fantasy to spice up their love life. And she offers to have rough, relations with Howard. I'm trying not to use the word because I don't want to get a strike, but and Howard's like, well, no, it's like he's not gonna do that. And more trashy ads. Wow, the 70s. And he's like, sister, I get enough of the rough stuff in real life. So then he wanders off. They all acknowledge that he's a duck, and then they're like cool with it, right? So he goes to his donut shop, and he's like, oh boy, what now? There's no one in here. Did it get robbed? It's like, yeah, all the money's gone from the till. So he's half expecting to see a corpse, but he sees a guy who's very much alive. He's just tied up. And so he unties him, and the guy's like, no, it's a dissatisfied customer. Claimed he broke a tooth biting into my Maple Delight. And so the bum asked for his money back, and I said, refunds. And so he decks me. He ties me up, gangs me with a cruller, empties the register, and checks out saying, I'm lucky he doesn't sue. So, and he's like, are you going to call the cops? He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Here's the soapbox. Someone accuses Stan Lee of using the soapbox to just sell products. And he's like, you know what, you're right. When I was reading way later on, he was still selling like the TV shows and movies and stuff he was trying to hawk. So that he didn't last very long, not doing that. Each one of these items is just stuff that's coming out. Yeah, it's like sort of Conan. Oh yeah, they won some British awards. So sort of Conan won for best ongoing comic. Howard the Duck was best new comic, etc., etc. And this is all from a poll from 1976. And then they talk about other things like super specials and things that are coming out. Spider-Man Pocketbook, I think I have this, which was a paperback color comic reprinting Amazing Spider-Man 7 through 13. This is a time when they refer to Amazing Spider-Man as Spider-Man all the time. And coming soon, Miss Marvel, right? And all sorts of other great stuff. So here's a Twinkies commercial. And this stuff, everyone refers to this all the time. I mean, like where there's a villain that's thwarted by Hostess, snack cakes and stuff. So this guy's stealing all the gold from Asgard. And then Thor says, "What about our stash of Hostess, pies, right? And it's like Hostess snack cakes." And so the guy's like, "Oh, Hostess snack cakes, what a treasure," right? So he eats them all. And he's like, "Give us back all our gold." He's like, "Sure, but I'll take all the snack cakes." And then that's that. That's the adventure. These were a lot of fun. You can find most, if not all, of these online. So the guy offers Howard some donuts. He's like, "No thanks, I'll have coffee." At dawn, two of his friends are going to be arriving in town. And so he realizes he's late. He goes there, and it's these two characters, one of which talks like Elmer Fudd. This one here. "I was desperately afraid you were a hallucination," kind of like Barbara Walters, actually. So anyways, Howard's been up all night, so he falls asleep in her arms, and they go home. Next issue will be Howard fighting the Ringmaster, which is a shabby Marvel villain. I'm surprised for all his camp he hasn't made it into one of these shows or movies. And here's a more trashy ads. This is some sort of spy scope. You could spy on people from far away. Here's a man spying on half-naked people from far away. So there he is. And there's a lot of write-up about how amazing. It's just like a pen scope. But I'm sure you can't really see that far with it. $3 was a lot back then. So here's more prizes for cash. And here's I think this is just like a baseball bat commercial or something. So there you have Howard the Duck from 1978. People love this thing, and I like it. And I think it was basically they liked it because it was different than the other comics. But I'll try and like dig out some comics where Howard's actually fighting a villain. That's always fun. So until next time, take care.